everyone. Welcome to Grammar and Writing Lesson 107. Let's get started with our vocabulary. The word part that we're going to focus on today is derma. Derma. Once again, this is a Greek word part, and it talks about your skin. So anything with derma is associated with skin. So taxidermy. That is the art of stuffing and mounting the skins of animals so that they look lifelike. For example, one must study taxidermy to make stuffed moose look real. By real, that means look like they're alive, they're not, dead or anything like that. So that is taxidermy. It's the art of stuffing and mounting. That means like putting up on like a plaque or putting them on some sort of stand so they look like they're standing, or posing them in some way so that they look like they are alive. Dermatology. Dermatology. Well, what does ology mean? We've looked at a lot of ology words. That talks about the study of something, right? So dermatology would be the study of skin. So it's the branch of medicine dealing with skin and diseases. For example, a doctor of dermatology can diagnose skin cancer. Epidermis. Epidermis. This is the outer, non-vascular, non-sensitive layer of skin. So what I mean by non-vascular, it doesn't have any like veins running through it. It doesn't have your blood cells. It's just the outer layer of your skin. It can easily peel off without hurting or anything like that because it's just that outer layer. It's basically dead skin. For example, I scratched the epidermis of my elbow and it neither hurt nor bled. Pachyderm. Pachyderm. This is a thick-skinned animal like an elephant, hippo, or rhino. For example, what type of pachyderm has a long trunk? Melanoderm. Melanoderm. This is a person with dark pigmentation of the skin. For example, a melanoderm is less likely to develop skin cancer than a fair-skinned person. The dark pigmentation comes from more melanin in their skin, hence the word melanoderm. So you guys, most of you, have more melanin in your skin than I do in mine. Most of you have darker skin than I do because you have more melanin in your skin than I do. And actually, it's better, it's healthier to have more melanin in your skin. Okay, so let's practice with those vocabulary by filling in the blank. Number 1, elephants, rhinoceroses, and hippopotami are located in the blank section of the zoo. So think about what kind of animals those are, what section they would be in. Number 2, the blank saw no reason to visit the tanning salon. What kind of person would not have a reason to go get tan? Number 3, the exhibit of lifelike animals made the visitors aware of the art of blank. Number 4, acne, the curse of many teenagers, frustrates doctors of blank as well. Okay. Number 5, our blank protects our deeper layers of skin. All right, if you have not yet finished writing down your answers, go ahead and pause your video, give you more time to think. Here we go. Number 1 would be pachyderm. Number 2, melanoderm. Number 3, taxidermy. Number 4, dermatology. And number 5, epidermis. Okay, for our writing lesson today, we're talking about anticipating objections. So when you anticipate something, this means that you think ahead to what is coming and you prepare for it. So if you're anticipating objections, that means you are thinking about the things that someone could say that are negative and you are prepared for it. What does that look like in writing? Well, one way to effectively persuade your audience in your writing, so to get them to agree with whatever your position is to think about the objections that people with opposing views might have, and then try to respond to those objections. So you are going to address what they are saying, or what you think they would say in objection. This is why someone would not agree. What can I say that would show them really that either they're wrong or that they're not thinking of it quite the right way, or whatever it might be. To think of those objections, try to think like that person might think. So put yourselves in their shoes. What would their viewpoint be? What would they think when they think about this particular situation or object or whatever it might be? So why would they object? Think about it. You have to think very profoundly. Okay, guys, a lot of what you are doing, a lot of your classwork these days does take time and thinking. It's not simply filling in answers anymore. So make sure that you spend some thinking time on your writing, especially persuasive writing. All right, let's look at the example that you have on your page for today. The opinion is that I should be allowed to have a dog. The audience is your parents. Think of the reasons that parents might say that their child could not have a dog or should not have a dog. So possible objections would be you wouldn't take care of it. It would cost too much to feed. It would make too much noise. So those are three possible things that a parent might say for reasons why their child should not have a dog. So how would you respond? Think of each objection. The first one, you wouldn't take care of it. Well, we could make a contract that states my responsibilities. So if you make a contract with your parents that you are definitely going to take care of it, you know that you are in charge of feeding it, you're in charge of walking it, you're in charge of making sure that you clean up any messes it makes, whatever that might be, okay? That would be one way to address that objection. You're not saying there that their objection isn't valid, you're just offering a solution to their objection. Then we have for the objection that it would cost too much to feed. I would contribute part of my allowance and money I earn to help pay for its food. So you would help to pay for it. So it wouldn't be all on your parents to pay for this dog. It would make too much noise. Well, you could get a book on dog training and train the dog to behave. So these are all things that you could say to show solutions to the objections that are being presented. So for your homework for today, you need to complete anticipating objections on page 4. All right. First of all, you have this, answering objections. Study the following position statement and possible objections. For each objection, list a possible response. So the position statement is the school should sponsor a school newspaper. That means that the school should be behind a school newspaper, pay for all of the costs to make the school newspaper. That's what sponsoring is, to support it and to pay for it. So here are possible objections. The school doesn't have enough money to pay for printing. There are no teachers available to supervise, so to make sure that the paper is being printed correctly. Student interest is unknown, so we don't know if people would actually be interested in receiving or reading this particular newspaper. So you have to respond to each objection. You have a section for letter A, you have a section for letter B, and a section for letter C. So respond to each one. And then this is the second part of your homework. You need to, for the following position statement, list possible objections. Then list responses to those objections. So the first one you answered, all you had to do was answer the objections. Here in the second one, you need to list them. So you need to think up what could be the possible objections, and then you need to respond to those objections. Because that's really what you'll do in your own writing. You won't be given possible objections. You need to think about it and then you need to respond to them within your own writing. So the position statement for this part is young people should be paid for household chores. So for example, you're saying that you, when you work around the house, should be paid for it. And I will let you know right away that my mom made me work around the house, and no, I was not paid for it. My mom would give you many statements as to why I should not have been paid for it. So think about that. Maybe put yourselves in your parents' shoes. Why would they say no, you should not be paid? And how would you respond to that as a solution, or how would you argue against it? Politely, of course. All right, let me know if you have any questions about what you need to do. That's all. See you guys in our next lesson. Bye.